Okay, so my name is Dani. I am the regional program manager at Bring Change to Mind. I live in Connecticut, not too far from New Jersey, and I'm really excited to share about the great work that we're doing in the area. I've been overseeing New Jersey now for the last 4 years, and so excited about the schools that we have in the state. Some of our strongest schools are actually in the state of New Jersey. It's one of our stronger regions. We have Union City, we have Delaware Regional High School as well. And just a few schools that I hold near and dear. We've been doing this for a little while together. And so really excited for the chance to expand this into more schools in the state. So our story starts back in 2010. Let's see if my cursor wants to work today. Yeah, our story starts in 2010. Our co-founder is Glenn Close. She's pictured here with her nephew and sister, who both have had their own issues with or struggles with mental illness. And um, it started really, their story started back when the sister, Jessie, had a diagnosis and actually was fortunate enough to have inpatient care. And when they returned back from inpatient care, their community was just really weird about talking about what happened. There really wasn't much language and it just wasn't a good feeling. It was very isolating. And so they came together and decided to just find a way to talk about it. And so back then it just wasn't too much language around it. And so we started out with public service announcements just to kind of get the word out. And over time, what we ended up creating was a high school program. And the research has shown that half of lifetime mental illnesses begin at the age of 14, and the average delay in treatment is 8 to 10 years after the onset of symptoms. So if you really think about it, how unfortunate it is that someone could be experiencing crippling anxiety or just chronic depression, and it'll be 8 to 10 years before they ever raise their hand and say, "Hey, I need help." And so our thought is if we have a program that will introduce this language earlier, introduce tools earlier, then maybe folks will reach out and ask for help sooner. It's one of the goals. And so we started our high school program. And so what does this high school peer-led model look like? It is a club that the schools are able to initiate in their schools, and it involves having an advisor and just a few general club members that are ready to run and get the club off the ground. It focuses on education and advocacy. And so the thought is that we're going to be providing these tools for them so that they can educate each other and advocate for each other within the school. And we empower them with tools on our end. The expectation is that they'll host weekly meetings for mental health discussions, activities, and plan school-wide activations, because research does tell us that when students do participate in school-wide activations, it does have a larger impact. It's open to all students, and we like to emphasize that this is not a form of counseling or therapy. So, in no way, shape, or form are students expected to come and use this as an alternative to counseling or therapy, but it is a support tool. And so, I always say I don't want my club leaders to ever feel like they are the ones that have to bear the brunt of everyone's issues. That's not what they do, but we do expect that they'll come together, they'll share their stories together, and then it'll mobilize them to put on events and activities and create awareness to let other students know that they're not alone. And so we're currently in 42 states, and we have over 500 clubs, and we have served over 14,000 students throughout our time with the high school program. One of the bigger resources that we provide to our students to empower them to educate each other and advocate for each other is our high school portal. It currently houses over 50 club presentations that speak to different mental health topics, including education around mental illness and other very relevant topics like intersectionality. What does it mean for me to be who I am and what it means for my culture as well when we talk about the mental health conversation. Um, we also have national and local support resources that are updated regularly. And also we have over 40 event and activity ideas. This is really appreciated by our clubs because they know they don't have to start from scratch. It was like, what do we do? What do we talk about? Well, we already have it here because we built it up over time. We draw this information from clubs that have already put on these amazing activities and events that have done well. And so they're able to go into the portal and see these events and activities and remix it, make it their own, and bring new life to it. We also have a number of applications that are there for more external opportunities that we offer them, and so much more. But this is where all of the resources are housed. We like to let them know that they're not alone when it comes to building out and sharing the education piece. We do all of that for them so that all they have to do is kind of go in and pick what they like and then choose what's most applicable to their schools. By way of support, we offer, in addition to the club portal, we offer a grant for every school that is a part of the program. And this grant is what they'll use to fund those events and activities that they'll put on during their club meetings. We also provide a workbook that is pretty, it gives them the knowledge that they need to get a club off the ground, but also helps to give them the information they need if they have any challenges that come along with naturally beginning a club. Whether that's how do we recruit people, and how do we make a bigger impact? How do we even run our meetings? Like, we have all of that laid out for them so that they also feel less of a lift when they're building the club out. One of the bigger supports it's me, like a regional manager, and we have several of us that are utilized for club check-ins with them. We send out email reminders, and we do a lot of hand-holding until they feel comfortable. I like to tell my clubs that I will hold your hand until you tell me to get out of your face. And Danny, we got this. But I love to give them that extra support so that they know that they're not alone. Whether it's how they run their club meetings or how they implement these events and activities across the school. Another thing that we provide are trainings for the advisors and for the club leaders as well. And all of this are just layers of support that we provide the students because we really want the students to be the leaders. We want them to feel empowered to run these clubs on their own. Even though they have an advisor present, we like for them to take the lead because this is the biggest difference is that if it's coming from administration, great. If it's coming from teachers, great, but nothing hits like it coming from your own peers. And so we found that to be just powerful. And so we want to support them and give them empowerment to be the leaders in their school. Also, additional resources that we provide are ones that you are familiar with, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, as well as we have our own tech support system as well that they can utilize. I'll pause here for any questions. Awesome. So we also provide in-person summits throughout our different hubs. New Jersey, a lot of our schools that are close enough to New York City have had the pleasure of coming to our in-person NYC summit, where we provide transportation, we provide the food, and we provide a really great time. The students are able to come together and participate in a mental health activity fair where they're able to mix slime, they're able to paint rocks, we have therapy animals, silent disco. They have the best time and they're able to connect with each other, as well as have breakout sessions where they communicate with each other on different topics that we pre-select. And so it's a day of fun that we fund and support and really foster more community among our different clubs. And so like I said, the clubs that are in New Jersey that are close enough to New York, usually within like a 2-hour window, they're able to come and be a part of that in-person summit. It's like the highlight of the year um, for us and for our students. There's never been a student that has come and not wanted to come back. And so this is their time to connect, to learn, and be inspired and empowered.
Danny, sorry, at your summits, like how many students are, I'm looking at the pictures trying to guess, but how many students would attend and like how many clubs like attend like a summit, like your New York summit?
Yeah, it varies. For New York, we're usually around 200, most times more that we support. And it grows every year. So, yeah, somewhere within the 200, 220 range, we have our students coming out. And we do get students that come from Connecticut as well, because they're close enough, and New York and New Jersey as well. So, yeah, we service about over 200 students. Um, any other questions about this? Awesome. So just looking at what it looks like over the year, what students could expect. They're going to recruit members. Usually there's a club fair that happens, and we provide a club kit that allows them to make an impact during that club fair. So they'll recruit members, they'll host meetings, and we provide actually the agendas for their first meeting. We really try to give them more than what they would even need so that they feel extremely supported in all the because sometimes it's a heavy lift to get a club off the ground. And then there's other clubs that they're competing with. And so we want to make sure that it's fun. We want to make sure that they have everything they need as far as recruiting and building the club. Also, we do brainstorm sessions, as I said, with regional staff. So they have that at their disposal. They can always schedule a brainstorm session with us. They have the summit, and then we have BC2M week, where it's like a school spirit week, but for BC2M, where they'll do different mental health activities throughout the week. And then we also like to get feedback from our students. We build our program out every year based on the feedback we get from the students to make it better. And so that's kind of what it looks like throughout the school year. And we are going into our 10th year as a high school program. Even though we were founded in 2010, the high school program was founded in 2015. And so we are so excited to be celebrating our 10-year anniversary. And we're working on really big things. And so even for the schools that will potentially come from New Jersey and from this meeting, this is a great year for them to jump in because it's just going to be so fun, the things that we're working on and just the momentum that we're building right now to celebrate this really huge accomplishment that we've reached over 100,000 students during our time um, in the high school program. And so this is just next steps, what you can expect a club to do once we have like the information that I've just wrote out to you guys. They'll have to identify a faculty advisor. And this is pretty standard in the club, in the school setting as well. We'll try to get them to identify 4 passionate club leaders that are willing to take it on and get things started. And then we have our own terms of agreement that pretty much outlines communication expectations and the expectations for the grant. And then once they do that, I am again holding their hand to get the club started, get it up and running, and really define what they believe success looks like for them, because that's different for every club. I love getting their opinions on their goals because every school has their own challenges. And so they'll be able to name the need in the school, whether that's bullying, whether that's just academic stress. The students name what the challenges are, and then we build out the activities and things that they'll do, and the goal setting that we do is centered around those meeting those needs. So this is a really important step as well, as we come together and really define what success looks like for them. And that's it. This is my information for you guys to reach out. This is my email address. If you are interested in having continuing the conversation, that is my email, and I will also put it in the chat as well. And I will pause now for any questions that you guys have.